and she is one of our newest members. It's Marie, and let me pull this up. Marie Denis-Luque, and she will be talking to us about CHOAIDS, which is children or caring for Haitian orphans with AIDS. And Marie is from Haiti, came to the United States when she was 17, along with two of her sisters. And she was sponsored by John Hill, who's also with us today. John Hill was sponsored by Sue Hunt, who's also with us today. So we got Grandma Sue and Papa John and Marie. So Marie still leads CHOAIDS and she has 7 board members and about a dozen staff members in Haiti. So we're very, very proud of our Rotary members and all of the service that you guys do. And I'm very pleased and proud to present to you Marie.
Well, thank you. Well, hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you. I don't know the format of any of this. Just ask questions as you feel like. I want it to be very informal. Let me share my screen. And you cannot see my screen. I shared the wrong screen, didn't I? Oh, boy.
That was it.
That was short.
Oh, sorry.
It said CHOAIDS on it.
Oh, great. That's it then. Yeah. I have 2 screens, so if you see me looking this way, that is that.
That's fine for me anyway.
Okay. Would like for it to take off. Okay, there you go. The title of my talk is A Last Stop Organization for Children Living with HIV in Haiti. As a last stop organization, what I mean by that is more than 80% of our children don't have anywhere else to go. And we are the family for them. And for those that actually have a living parent, it's often a mother, and we have made ways to hire some of these women on our staff. So let me tell you a little bit about me. As Matt already shared, I was born and raised in Haiti. I've been living in the States for a while. I will not age myself. Sharing too much. I have 2 masters in public health, a degree in epidemiology, and the other one's in community and family health. And 15 years ago, I had some sort of itch to go back to school, and I went back to school at the university where I work. I work at Florida State University in Tallahassee, pursuing a PhD while working in public administration. And the public administration part of this is really, my work with CHOAIDS began during my studies in public health, and now it brought about the public administration piece. So this is something that's very dear to my heart. Caring for Haitian orphans with AIDS was after meeting a 13-year-old girl who was living in a hospital courtyard. And I automatically placed myself in her, and that my dad came to the US, and I started asking myself all these what ifs, and it led to my doing something about it. But at the time, being a student, if you could do anything that could make such a big difference. But look at us now, 21 years later, we are recognized as having put together something very unique, serving a vulnerable population that is often ignored. Mind you, so that Haiti has there are a lot of competing issues, but when it comes to children living with HIV, it's almost like they're like the untouchables. And if you want to know more about that part in terms of the stigma part, I will not go into it, but it is a big deal when it comes with people living with HIV in Haiti, which I suspect is not just Haiti, but stigma is a big deal. But we managed to create a setting that is a stigma-free environment where we have the children and have women living with HIV caring for their children. And this is an article that we published about the model. It is a peer review article. If you are interested, I will also share that with you. Now, the title of my talk, first I'm going to start talking about how HIV looks like in Haiti. And as you look at the numbers, I want you to not dwell on those numbers because, well, probably many of you know that Haiti has been going through a lot over the past few years, and that stats are very hard to come about. And next, I will share about our story with you, our mission, and talk about our team in general. And I will also share about a grant that we received from Rotary to send the children to school during the 23-24 year, and also a future project that we're currently working on this year. Now, those are the numbers that I was talking about. Now, outside of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, Haiti was the country with a lot of issues when it comes with HIV and AIDS. Though things have gotten better, the estimates here, as someone who studies epidemiology, who's aware of the issues that are going on in Haiti, especially with increased violence, comes rape and all these other ills that often affect, people without power. Now it's guns, right? People who are not backed up by power. So I'm saying that these numbers are severely underestimation. So again, I shared, say, take these with a grain of salt. When it comes to children living with HIV, they have it here as a 7,900, which again, those numbers are not true numbers. Now, look at the last piece of information on this slide. 72% of adults carry some sort of stigma in their being for people living with this condition. HIV and AIDS is a treatable condition, right? People get medication just like somebody with hypertension, just like somebody with diabetes. Yeah, you get medication. You're not discriminated against, but people living with HIV and AIDS, they are heavily stigmatized in Haiti.
Marie, I have a question.
Sure.
On your slide, you say there's 7,900 children 0 to 14 with HIV.
Mm-hmm.
And the next bullet says 57,000 AIDS orphans. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AIDS orphans are different. So AIDS orphans means that they could be positive or negative. They're not necessarily, it means that they lost a parent to an AIDS-related complication.
okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sure.
Yeah.
But again, those numbers, I mean, I could tell you in terms of they're just not correct. If you know what's underground, the inability to get medication to people not being able to get tested, those numbers are severely underestimated. I'm not saying just take my words for it. If you know other researchers, they will let you know, well, don't put so much weight on those numbers. I want to share this video with you. It's if you go to our website, that's the promo video for our work, and you may be able to recognize the person's voice on there. Wink, wink. Okay.
Oops.
Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
And Haiti, nature is powerful and fierce and beautiful. The ocean, that great glass frame that bounds us, an unpredictable friend and enemy. Root of turmoil and joy, tragedy and hope. Eternal waves dare us to ask, what is our future? Who will our children become? In Haiti, the young live in cages of concrete. and twisted wire. Our children, victims of our own desire for safety, for love, desperate to stay and also to go, eager to live and afraid to die, our legacy in the balance. In Haiti, our children are weak and strong, ready to heal, but unable to mend, veiled in hope and loss and youth, determined to keep out the storm and keep in the spry souls. Cages for our daughters' tears, our sons' fears.
Mm.
And Haiti, life is a vapor, the beat of a small heart, one moment here and the next moment gone. And Haiti, who are we if not our children? Our blood in their veins. We long for their future. Work for it. Pray for it. Cry for it. And the darkness of a young death and the light of a young smile.
Mm.
Thank you for watching. Oh, great. I didn't lose my spot. We do have another, ooh, I can't move. Okay, great. We do have another, we were part of a documentary called AIDS Living in the Shadows. It was shown at the International AIDS Conference in 2014, and Sir Elton John was the narrator for that. So you can just Google AIDS Living in the Shadows, and our organization was the first organization that is shown on that documentary. So as you saw, the name of the organization is Caring for Haitian Orphans with AIDS. Listen, I got this name while sitting and watching entertainment tonight, and what is his name? Angelina Jolie's ex-husband's name. What is his name again? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was talking about work he was doing in New Orleans after the disaster that happened there. And he's like, well, the name of your organization must tell people what you do. People don't need to go look around and see what your organization does. And then CHOAIDS came. Okay. So Brad Pitt has something to do with naming my nonprofit. And our mission is simply this. It is to enhance the quality of life of children living with this virus and through education and caring and for them in a family-centered environment. Everything that we do is around a family centering. And our children really are the apple of our eyes. So right now we are serving 24 children. However, since our existence, since 2003, we have served 63 children. We work with, what's unique about CHOAIDS is that we work on minimizing or decreasing discrimination in care delivery by hiring women living with the virus to work with the children. So the women and the children all can be themselves in this setting without fearing that, somebody's going to discriminate against them. If somebody has a boo-boo or whatever, they'll be afraid to touch them, etc. So that is our rationale behind that. We operate on 3 pillars: provide, protect, and prepare. And the provision piece, and we meet all the needs of the children. We are parents, because many of our kids, as I said earlier when I first started, a little over 80% of the kids don't have any connection with anybody. A lot of them came from either like a hospital, or some of them came from the streets, and some of them were being cared for an aging grandparent and the person passed away. So everybody has a unique history, but the majority of the kids have never had, they don't have any parent that really is there for them. So again, I shared earlier, fostering the ability, the connection, the family-centered environment, and that we really want to build that sense of family among the children and the caregivers. So when the child leaves CHOAIDS, it's not like they ever leave forever. We are the parent that's always there in some way, engaging with the child, with the young adult that leaves. The protect piece, they are well assimilated in the community. They attend school in the community, their health care, everything, and they go to church, and it's that. And the prepare portion is we prepare them for transitioning into adulthood and to be self-sufficient. While they are in our care, not only they learn about the importance of taking their medication and eating regularly and protecting themselves against other infections. Like, for instance, you may think, oh yeah, or some may think it's okay to have unprotected sex, whatever. Oh no, you got to protect yourself. We educate them on how to be safe so that they can protect others out there. And about nutrition. We do all sorts of education with them, and as well as preparing them to be out there and find jobs. Now, I mean, not find jobs, because there's an unemployment rate of over 80% in Haiti. So we find ways that they learn skills to help them be, self-sufficient. Right now, we have a program that is funded by one of our donors that supports them learning how to become tailors. I'm going to show you some things that they've made, and learning English, learning different skills. So that's very important in preparing them for tomorrow. So I'm showing this to show that this is Samuel. He came to us from Port-au-Prince late last year. When he came, well, he's still 2 years old. When he came, unable to use his legs, but as the role of parent, we have to meet that need. So we have a therapist come to the house, work with him. So I hear now, this picture was taken late last week. He's able to use his feet. So as parents, we make sure he received the physical therapy that he needs, so he could be as best possible. He might end up being on a boot to help him further, but for the next 5 to 6 months, he's going to be, working with a therapist to help him use his feet. So that's the provision and protecting, and preparing. So really all the 3 pillars that we stand on. These 2 are brothers, Jordani and Zachary. Jordani is one of the young men who really took off in the sewing project. Now he's in school to become a designer. However, he's been teaching. He's part of the teachers that come to the house to teach. Now, because unemployment is a big deal in Haiti, there's like literally no jobs, for regular people, like would say us, well, if you have somebody who has connections, you may be able to get a job, but not, like people like myself who just show up, we have no big family name kind of thing. So he works at the orphanage. His brother, who also worked with us, now he's going to university. So he is the first of our children who's going to be going to college later this month. So as an organization, we're working to supporting through getting his degree and becoming a social worker. So it's really exciting to see one of our own. He lived with us since he was 11, and he's going to university. So you can see the proud mama smile on my face. So I'm really excited about that. So I shared about self-sufficiency, really assisting each child in becoming self-sufficient. Now, we had a transition home at one time, one for boys and one for girls. Financially, as an organization, we're not able to sustain that after the first year because they only get a year of free rent in that particular house where we're able to work with them financially to help them cover the rest, learn how to save money so they can be truly on their own. We have not been able to establish our second home because right now we have about 4 ready to transition. We're preparing to do that later this year. Self-care, I talk about that. Disease management is a very big deal. Their emotional health is important, and mental health and physical. So all that is important. That is the work of a social worker and a psychologist we have on staff to work with them. Employability is a big deal. And as I shared already, there's no such thing as job placement per se, but we are building relationship with organizations in this new setting that we moved to about 2 years ago, Cap Haitian, that can help us find jobs for those that qualify. Skill building. Remember, I shared about the sewing project. For some kids, they love it. Others that don't, we just don't waste their time. We put them in something else. But as long as they get something that they can, when they leave or when they're leaving, they'll have to carry on and find a job. Now, this past year, at least 5 of our young people at the house were involved in making the school uniforms. School uniforms are very big in Haiti. You can't just show up with your regular outfits to school. You have to wear a uniform, and your parents have to invest in uniforms. So each child gets 3 uniforms for the year. And some of these kids you see here, they were involved, and they make some money in assisting in making the uniforms, because with us, we have 22 kids going to school. That's a lot of uniforms. Remember, I shared about making pieces, and so that's one of our young ladies, and, again, building towards self-sufficiency. As you'll see toward the end, I talk about having a shop, store type place that will welcome these skills and having them sell things there and all that. I'll share a little bit more when we get to it. Now, when I go to Haiti, sometimes I take people with me, like John Hill. We'll meet there somehow. We'll meet in Haiti and have a rendezvous in Haiti. We're not all just about work. Like when I took this picture, John was there at the hospital. We work at the orphanage. We come to Grace Children, spend some time, well, at least back, we used to go to Port-au-Prince. I won't be going to Port-au-Prince now. And interact with other kids. And while we do that, we learn the history of what's going on with this child. Like, for instance, this little boy there, he was like, I think when we met him, he was 18 months. And I learned a lot about it. A lot of times it's nutrition that brings them to the hospital, and they found out that they have other issues. So yeah, we get to know them, and the hospital already know what we do, and they just refer, and sometimes it's just me being there, and then just like, yeah, just we have this kid, and just bring the issue, and then we find ways to make a way for them to come and to transfer, take the kid to the house. So this is one of the trips this is that same trip, and we took the kids to the mountains. So it's big, exciting. Everybody wants to go to the mountains. And that one particular trip, it was John was there, and I had a group of friends from Charleston. My friend Amy and her two of her daughters. We went up the mountains of Fort Jacques and had some great fun. And usually it's like the day before we leave Haiti. That's how we have such a it's just to end the trip. But John was there during that trip. So this is just to show you what organizationally what we look like. I'm part of the board 7. So we are an all volunteer board, and I'm very proud to say that. Not a single person on the board, including myself, make any money whatsoever. So we are there, fully vested volunteers. We're actually meeting this Saturday for our board retreat in Blountstown, Florida. So John Hill will be joining me with Roger for that meeting. Yeah, and then in Haiti, in terms of all these people you see here, a great majority of the people who work at the orphanage were themselves the resident of the orphanage. We find ways to create jobs to make sure that once they leave, they're able to support themselves. Yeah. Here's our beautiful board. Again, all volunteers. Dr. Rita Smith, she's a classmate. I mean, these are people I know, people who know and touch each other and tap each other and say, well, I think you'll be great for this. And that's literally, and these two, Dr. Yakov and Andrew, they're members from my church. They voluntarily stood up after I talked one time and joined. So yeah, and become members of our board. Oh, and we do have in our board, we have a 2-year term, and usually we have elections, etc. So this was last year when John came, actually last year around this time. This was a picture taken at church. And if you don't know anything about hair, I just started my hair journey there, but it's grown a whole lot. It's been a year, changed a lot. So this is we do welcome volunteers in terms of like students. I've mentored students from several different universities. This is Rose. Hardly ever have any Haitian Americans, but she's Haitian American. And she's really interested in the work that we're doing. And we're having a fundraiser here later in the year. She'll be heavily involved in doing that. This is our staff. I think I'll show you one person is missing in Haiti. And again, if you this young lady here, she was where my cursor is. She's the one who's featured in the AIDS Living in the Shadows documentary. And if you go watch it, you'll see where she came from, how she looked when she came to us. This gentleman here is our newest employee. He worked for a big organization in Port-au-Prince, and we just so happened to just swap him away from them. And he's sharing a position with his sister organization. So we partner and put our little monies together to hire him. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to afford his services. So just giving you a little clue on how certain small organizations work. At least I don't know about the US, but that's how we do it in Haiti. We share workers sometimes. Our funding source or sources, really, we don't have big grants. It's through individual donations, partnership with churches, including my church and John's church. Really having a board using their networks. I believe a lot in networks, and the work that I'm doing in my dissertation is really understanding how networks function in countries like Haiti, especially in times of disaster. So that's my research in a nutshell. So I believe strongly in networks, and our team in Haiti, they don't really make a salary. I call it a stipend. And that's what they make. And so I consider them volunteers as well. Um, and again, I really talk a lot about my folks, the folks that I work with, John included. Um, they're just dedicated people. 23, 24, we received a wonderful grant that helped alleviated a lot of the stress that was felt. John knows what I'm talking about. The financial stress that was felt about last August, thinking about school. School's going to start in September. Oh my gosh, that kind of stuff. We got a grant, a $28,000 grant for the year to send the kids to school. It funded from A to Z for the kids, really. And a big piece was like transportation, which was very important. One of the things that impressed me the most with Rotary was their bookkeeping. Oh my. It's amazing at how meticulous that the lady was. And of course, John kept spreadsheet, just keeping the information coming, just make it very important just when it was time for the audit, to not waste time and make sure things were on point. So that was really, really, I'm proud to be a Rotarian. How about that? Okay. Talking about future projects, actually, it's 2025 already. I mentioned earlier about the shop in store to promote employment and just really fund the prepare to transition piece of our pillar. Now, I'm envisioning, and I actually wrote it down already. I'm waiting for opportunities to get it funded for seed money to get it going. Envisioning a setting like a barbershop where you have different stations fully funded or fully stocked, like 5 stations fully stocked of sewing materials for just to rent to these young people because they're going to be paying rent on it. To work, to make uniforms, to make all sorts of garments, and then they pay rent every month, and that's the project. And we'll have a storefront where we sell some of the art pieces and some of the different items that they're going to be making, because you're not going to be busy on contracts all the time. They'll be making items for sale, and then we'll have an online store, items available online as well. So that's the project. We're looking for seed money for that. And I want us to apply for more grants, because that Rotary grant was amazing to have that. And I have to worry so much about how we're going to send the kids to school. Getting a small bus, securing transportation costs to and from medical appointments. Those are very important. They're non-negotiables, because they have to go to medical visits, and knowing that we have the funds there, just dedicated to that would be amazing to have. And really developing a post-high school education plan for the kids who want to go to university. Before Zachary even took the test, the college entrance exam, I was like, I never thought of one of our kids going to university. I'm sorry, I don't think about it, because we're trying to get a lot of them through, middle school, etc. And because a lot of them that come to us, they've never been in school. I mean, you have a kid that's like, actually, we had one that was 17. What do? You don't think of college. You think of providing him with just being able to read and then transition him into something. But, my mind has changed now, really. We need to work on finding more, so rather than just trade schools, just, 4-year college for these kids. We need a hand washing station. We have 24 children, and likely to be up to 30 this year in the house. We need a hand washing station that can help, with a lot of the stuff that we're doing we do have bottlenecks when it comes time to go eat. And washing hands. Continue building a library and a playroom. We had a small church here that donated $400 and some toward a library, and we started. we have not finished that. So these are some ideas for projects. I mean, not ideas, these are some of the projects that we want to work on this year. Okay, I have talked quite a bit. I welcome your comments and feedback. Merci un pile pour petit temps. OK, Martin Sanabdi.
Okay. I had 3 questions.
Sure. Oh, should I keep it up?
Do you think the high number of orphans is due in part to the stigma that's present in the adult population?
Okay, so I'm a pracademic. The term is practice and academic, right? We do a pracademic. I straddle the line. Um, I Sometimes I tend to not speak affirmatively on things until I have some data. That's another issue I have. Stigma is high. A lot of it has to do with poverty, right? That would
Education.
be where I go first. I go first there. I don't go with ignorance or lack of education first. Poverty is the underlying issue. And HIV and AIDS is a big problem, right? And we have certain behavior, especially violence against women, that perpetrate that. For the life of me, I cannot really, and also as a researcher, I can't process how rape is a tool, a war tool. I will never get it. So yeah, a lot of people do fall victims to that. And you have shame of, first of all, being violated, followed by being in a poor community and all that, it's a very messy situation. So sometimes people know what they have. I have a family member who died this way. They know what they have. They know what's going to happen if the community, their status is revealed. They choose to just go. The shame takes them away. So it's a very tough thing. And I think to me, the underlying issue is poverty. I go dance around all this to give you that. So.
The second question I had was if how long is that AIDS living in the shadow of
Not
document?
even 30 minutes, I think. Oh, 30, 27, I think most. I think it was about 27. And our story is the first one.
I'd suggest you send that to Elda so she can put it on our website. That would be a good one for people to watch.
Okay.
And then the third question I had is $650 per child per year seems very, very low.
Well, I can tell you that one of my classmates, she's a numbers person. I'm a qualitative researcher. I don't mind saying it. She's reworking the numbers. So she volunteered to work the numbers. So we're going to do it based on 2024 versus, back in the days. Yes.
Good.
Thank
It
you.
seems low, particularly when you look at the cost of the pharmaceuticals that you have to be experiencing.
Well, we don't spend money on medication because if you test positive, wherever you test positive, you are given a card. You have a national ID. And whether you are in Port-au-Prince, you move to wherever in the country, you present your card and your card serves, I don't know, some sort of, it's an identification. Your medication, once you go to a place that has medication, you start receiving care, it's free. When it comes to opportunistic infections, however, it's your own responsibilities to, hospitalization. If it's not a public hospital, all the medication is just your responsibility, food and everything else. But yeah.
Good. Those were my questions.
Yes.
You're
John,
muted.
John, unmute yourself.
John, you're muted. There you go.
Again, thank you. I've been quiet long enough. Um, I first went to Haiti in 1998 and was smitten by the people and the children there. Went back numerous times, and then I retired. And then Sue Hunt caught me at a weak moment, and she was president of the Vermilion Club at that time, and she was looking for someone to orchestrate a global grant. And of course, I'd been exposed to Haiti, and I'd been exposed to an organization called Pure Water for the World, and water throughout the world is a resource that is in short supply. So then I was involved in two water grants through Rotary, and then I met Marie in 2000, about 10 years ago, and the children, and it's been quite a ride. And I'm really proud to be part of this organization. I would say probably if you're looking for a figure on what's the word I'm trying to think of, the administrative costs, probably about 4%. So anything above, probably anything above 80 is pretty good. But I think one thing that I would like to emphasize is we tend to paint Haiti with the same brush, no matter where you are in Haiti. In April, a year ago, a little more than a year ago, we moved the children from Port-au-Prince to Cap Haitian, which is a much safer place. So we feel very comfortable and confident knowing that the children are not in harm's way there. They can receive education, they can receive hope, they can receive their ARV virus medication, they can go to a hospital, they can play, they can go to the market with relative safety. And so we're working really, really hard to make sure that they get the education they want, but at the same time, a nurturing home, good food, and also a future. So I'm so proud and so delighted to be with you all tonight, and especially to let you know that this is my lifetime commitment is to continue for the least of these in Haiti, and it's making a difference, and we're saving lives. As one girl, Ruth, I first met in 2003, and now she's transitioned out. So I feel really, really good about that. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Well, I was stunned when you said 80% unemployment.
Oh, yeah.
How do the people have hope? And then with the gangs situation, how do you see that there can be a solution? What can they do?
Wow, it's a very complex question. The people have hope because I guess I can't, that's the sometimes, I have problems. Somebody's being catty at work. I'm like, listen, honey, I'm Haitian. Whatever you do doesn't bother me really. I do have a high tolerance, not necessarily me. I mean, I'm joking, but um, Haiti hasn't had a break since its independence. So it's a very tough question. People are using this thing. I think over the past couple of years, I heard it. Oh, Haitians have the solution. I don't know. It's not just a Haitian solution. I think it's a very complex one that involves those who care about Haiti. You don't have to look like me to care about Haiti. It's my board shows it. I'm the only brown skinned girl on my team, and
So
all
far,
these people, I swear by them. I'm in several, actually 3 collectives, or it's a Cap Haitian collective. There's 2 other ones I'm part of. Very few people were born in Haiti. I'm studying this in a way to show people Haiti composed of people many times who just never been there. It's just human. It's a human thing.
Yeah.
really wants his suffering to stop, he really care about people. So my answer is very different from other people's answers because I'm living it,
Yeah.
so I don't have the right answer, but my answer is this. It's simply that it takes a lot of people, not necessarily those who were born there, to really give Haiti what it needs. Like this gang thing, it's not going to be solved overnight, and it's not going to be solved by one group of people. So yeah, we know how to solve it. It's just the will is not there in certain corners because
Yeah,
it benefits.
there's some good books to read. I know you could probably recommend some to us, Marie, on Haiti and its history, but The Butterfly Way is one that I think of, and uh, it basically talks about the tremendous turmoil that's been in that country for, well, since you were born, decades. And it's such a contrast when you go across the river into the Dominican Republic. If you look at the contrast between the two countries, it's all political, really, and it's very, very tough to solve.
But there are so many of us active, like I said, Haitians, non-Haitians, who are just active and really dedicated to getting things done. And for me, my corner is finding what's working and just magnify that. I tend to not focus on the bad stuff because it's so demoralizing. That's how I work, and in those groups that I'm part of, I just mentioned, I'm serious. Like people, there is a Taiwanese nun who really looked at a gang leader in the face and said, "Let my people get through." And this guy he agreed with the nun. Blew my mind. This is something I heard on a call last week. So people risking it all just for those people that they care about. These are, like she said, she had 344 psychiatric patients who have nowhere else to go. She's like, I need to get medicine, and whatever Creole she's got, she use it. So she's not Haitian. She's doing it. It's people who care about people. So yeah. All right.
If you want to hear another story about hope, invite a young lady, a Rotarian from Vermilion. Her name is Maquette McMahon, who is from Haiti. She met a man named John, not me. He saw potential. She went to Minnesota, of all places, got her high school education, went back to Haiti, got a visa, went back to North Dakota, got a degree in nursing, and she decided to pay it back. And now she's the executive director of Teach Haiti, which provides education for over 600 children in Haiti. She's part of a large organization nationwide. And so, she possesses hope. Marie does, I do. We embrace Rotary, the Rotary service above self. So it's not that hard. It just requires persistence.
And you say her name's McMahon?
Maquette McMahon, I can send you her information, but she's actually going to be speaking at a zone meeting, or did, and I suspect sooner or later she'll be probably speaking at one of the international conventions. But I can send you her information. Yeah,
do that, please.
You bet.
We're always looking for good speakers.
Thank you so much for your time. And perhaps one of these days I will bore you or not with my dissertation. I don't mind at all.
Bore me away.
I'll spare you the theory and all the theory stuff. But, I would love to show you how the network piece works. Once I start getting to results, how John is deeply rooted of my part of my network. Oh my gosh, John is just amazing. So yeah.
Let us know. You're a good speaker. We'd love to have you present as many times as you want to. So that's fantastic. and make sure that that documentary gets on our website.
I will. I'll do it tonight.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, well, that concludes the meeting then, but I stay on and chat with whoever wants to chat. So if you want to stay on and chat for a while, that's fine. I'll stay till